House of Horrors on Blu-ray. This is my day 19 of 31 in my 31 days of horrors. 31, 31 days of horror reviews. 31 days of horror. That's a weird word. This movie is from 1946 and it is only 66 minutes long, which honestly, a lot of these horror collection movies, I love how short they are. Here it is, House of Horrors. Look at that. Look at the poster. Meet the Creeper. Look at these scary opening credits. There's this shadow of a guy. Look at his hands. He's just creeping along. It's like, ooh, scary opening credits. So I think part of the reason this movie is called House of Horrors is because of this guy's artwork. It's like kind of grotesque and it's all like females and it's all like kind of a graphic jumble of body parts. I mean, there's definitely like a lot of murders in this movie, but I think that's part of what they're going for. They're like, ooh, look at his art, like it's like scary and disturbing.
To catch a customer in order to eat. Customers are much harder to get than mice, especially customers who understand the product of genius.
So he's sitting there talking to his mouse because or not his mouse, his cat. He's talking to his cat about how poor he is and how they need money. And the cat can just go kill stuff to get money, but he has to do art. And his customers might not understand his genius. And when he said that and looking at his art that they were showing, I was just like, I think I see why you're poor. So this guy comes to buy some of his art and he brings an art critic and he totally just says that his art is trash. So he smashes it. But look at this moody shot. This is like the stuff Halloween's made out of. So then he's basically going to kill himself. He's like so sad. But hey, at least we get a good moody shot out of it. So he sees like a guy almost dying and he rescues him. And listen to what he says when he flips him over.
Magnifique. The perfect Neanderthal man.
The perfect Neanderthal man. That's pretty. And actually, a lady later in the movie says the same thing about him, and it's like, oh, like I couldn't help but feel like this movie was a little exploitative of this guy. But then again, no one made him be in the movie, so I don't know. He puts this hat on, and he looks exactly like the killer guy from Rocketeer, the guy that would go around breaking people's spines, and that, boop, is what this guy does. So I wonder if the Rocketeer was kind of inspired by this guy. So it cuts scene from a murder to the city morgue, talking about her spine being snapped, and then we get possibly a red flag from the morgue guy, mortician. They're like, wheel her back there, and he's like, back you go, my lovely, and it's just like, are you supposed to talk to dead bodies like that? And listen to what else he says. So they think this killer's on the loose again. I guess he's killed previously.
If the creeper's still alive, I'm going to put in some overtime.
So this guy that got washed up is the creeper, and he's already killed before. And this little artist guy rescues him, and then he goes out and just starts murdering. So he's like, hey, if the creeper's back, I'm going to get overtime. I'm just like, well, it makes sense that you would have a freaking dark sense of humor as a mortician, but I feel like that thing you said earlier was a little bit red flaggish. So the movie does a eerily weird job of portraying this art critic as a horrible human being. And of course, he gets it. And, you get to see his last words here. Look. Anyway, so of course the art critic gets it. And, I mean, the movie even makes a big deal about how all these artists are like celebrating his death. And he's just like, he's an awful human being. And so, like, you don't want people to get murdered, but the movie's definitely like, but it's okay, this guy died. So, a quick note of the quality of the Blu-ray here. It's nice to be in HD, but there's quite a few like scratches, like a lot of like little scratches in this one. And this is also not from a new scan, and the audio is fine. It's like hearable, but this is probably a below average as far as how good it looks compared to the rest of the Universal Horror collections. So yeah, this is probably on the lower end of like video quality. The audio is about average as everything else.
This is a very fortunate alliance, my friend. Before you
So
came into my life, I felt put upon.
listen
I
to
was
this.
haunted constantly by the feeling that I was persecuted, helpless to fight back. But now I have the feeling of power, limitless power. No one shall stand in my way.
So and then he goes on to talk about how art critics will finally give him like the recognition he deserves, because he just thinks he's a genius and he deserves all the recognition in the world. Um, but what I wanted to point out is that he was like this kind of weakling guy, and now he feels this ultimate power because basically he says who he doesn't like, and this creeper guy goes and kills them. Now, this could be a bit of a stretch here, but this guy's accent sounds like German or Austrian. To me, I don't recognize. Like to me, it sounds German. I could be way off, but it's 1946, so we're coming out of World War II, and I wonder if it's just kind of like an easy target to be like, hey, uh, the bad guy is gonna be like a weaselly little German guy that's like abusing his power and basically needs to be like removed. So I wonder if that's a little bit of post World War II choosing this villain here. Boop. What do you think?
Another moral girl is waiting to make the pinup fans drool.
Not bad. So you think I might get a movie contract if the right people see it?
Why not? The hungry maw of the cinema is always waiting to devour new beauty.
So this guy is like a pinup drawer, or he draws like magazine covers, and this girl's like, "Do you think I'll get a movie gig because of the way I look?" So like that's kind of like pretty meta to do that because she's in a movie right now. And then same kind of thing where there's like killing art critics. So I wonder if this movie's being like a little bit kind of like cheeky, just where she's like, "Do you think I could get in a movie?" And like they're like just like brutally killing art critics. Who I wonder if the people that were involved in this movie had some uh, bad experiences with movie critics. I don't know. So this cop who keeps coming by to investigate this painter, who because he thinks he killed a critic because the critic gave him a really bad review, he basically like falls hopelessly in love with this blonde model girl, and
This is a man who never forgets a
it,
name or
it
a
actually
number.
ends up
Only when I called your number just now, nobody answered.
Well, I wasn't home.
it actually ends up very tragically because she gets brutally murdered, like all the blondes in this movie. But the cop is the one that finds her, and it's just like he's just like so peppy when he's around her, and he's so excited to like that she's excited for him to get her number. Like it's just like this like mutual budding little relationship, and she gets brutally murdered, and it's pretty sad. And then the cop, he's on the case, and I think he takes care of business, but it's just you feel so bad for him because it's like, oh cool, like he's totally gonna get married and have babies with this lady. I
It's
love
magnificent.
this multi-layered shot here.
Oh, not only that.
It's absolutely like Sergio Leone, like The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, just with this very strong profile shot, like right next to the camera, and then everyone else in focus going backwards. Like this is totally, but this is actually before that, so it's like, was he inspired by movies like this? Like that is a Sergio Leone shot, like if I ever saw one, and it's one of my favorite shots in this movie. And look at how good the statue looks. Like it really does look like the creeper. And she's gonna say the same thing
Magnificent.
about this guy that he did earlier.
Worthwhile, then?
Oh, not only that. It's masterful. Such strength. The perfect Neanderthal man.
Oof.
We have this class.
Hey, again, no one made him be in the movie, I guess. So maybe he's just happy to be here. So you got the man coming to rescue the woman, and you got the cop totally shoots the creeper, and the creeper totally choked out the little German guy. But one interesting thing that the cop says, he's like, we got to get him to a hospital, so maybe he could survive. I don't know, maybe when they wanted to keep a sequel open. Except for he's totally, I don't know. Anyway, so very nice wrap up. And this lady has been an art critic, and there's these themes in these old movies of the ladies that are like, I want to do my career, and the guy's like, no, you should quit your career and just like be with me. And look at this last line in the movie.
But I didn't know.
Well, how could that be? You saw the sketch.
I had no idea it was a sketch of the creeper.
And you call yourself an art critic.
Steve,
Steve.
I don't want to be an art critic anymore.
Ooh, so
Does
sensual.
anything occur to you?
Mm-hmm.
Aww, she wants to be a stay-at-home wife with him. And that's how these movies end. They quit their career and they stay home wife. It's just a different time, and honestly, it's charming and it's like cleansing feeling. It's so enjoyable to watch these old movies where the bad guy gets it, the good guys get together, like, well, except for the cop and that blonde girl. He's gonna have to keep looking. That's pretty sad. But this was a good one. I liked it. I thought it was a cool, like, crime thriller, I guess horror movie, because you have like this monstrosity guy killing people. But yeah, I thought they did a good job on this one, like through and through, like with the themes and the scariness and the catharsis of the ending. So yeah, I like this one, and let me know what you think if you've seen this. I figure it's mostly people that have seen this that are watching these reviews. You have to let me know, because like I said earlier, I don't think I'll meet anyone that's ever seen these. But yeah, I like this movie. I thought it was a good time. I was on the edge of my seat. I was yelling at the screen, like when the girl's trying to get out the doorknob and she couldn't like operate a doorknob from inside. I was like, come on, work a doorknob, you dumb girl. But it was fun. I liked it. So this has been day 19 of 31 in my 31 days of horror movies. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.